The piece of wood is out, which means we are doing something quite messy here on Hybrid Mod Railway. So hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be fixing this tripod. Now this tripod is something that I use quite commonly. I use it for filming train spotting when I have the two camera angles. This one usually is filmed going on the away shot. I use it for filming running sessions, generic things up the loft, and because the phone holder unscrews, I can screw my webcam up in there and use that as a webcam mount for my live streams. This particular tripod is normally over there doing the station camera. Now this tripod was kindly given to me by my friend's dad. That friend's called Will. He's done a live stream with me before, he's done videos on this channel with me before, and he's also the mate who took me to Silverstone in that video I just released. So the problem with this tripod is I think it was used for a few years before I got it, and it has been a really good tripod. It's very high quality and does feel, you know, quite robust. However, through the many years of use and abuse, one of the legs has fallen out, unfortunately, and that's not because it's been mistreated, it's just because it's been wrapped around that many times. Obviously, as you can see here, this looks a tiny little bit choveled up, and obviously it's just been rattling loose in here for quite a while, and eventually the supports have come out and it's ripped out. So today we're going to aim to fix that, and I'm going to be using some epoxy resin, or epoxy adhesive as I have here. This was, well, what's left of it, donated to me by my granddad. Always helps me with bits of stuff I need. So thank you for that, Grandad. Basically, it says squeeze it, mix it, put it in the joint. You've got 5 minutes or 6 minutes-ish to start moving it around, and it'll be fully cured after 16 hours. This is obviously, as you can tell, quite old stuff. There's not much left in it, and it's a bit tatty. So my Grandad, thanks again, Grandad, also got me some Araldite, which is some brand new stuff. Packet's not opened. So if this has lost its grip or comes out after a few weeks of use, or maybe even a few hours of use, I can always do it with this, and I will give you an update. So without further ado, let's crack on. We shall try it with the already used adhesive, and we shall get mixing. So we need to make sure we get the lid back on the right way around, otherwise it will start hardening, won't it? Because if you've got part A in there and part B in there, and then turn it around and put part A in there and B in there, then it's obviously going to stick to it. So onto the piece of wood, and as you can tell, this piece of wood has been used quite a lot. I didn't think that were coming out then, but they are. We'll mix up more than we need because my granddad said he doesn't want this tube back. This piece of wood has been used quite a lot. So that went on that way like that. It's been used quite a lot. As you can see, I tested my platform edging on there with masking tape. There's some holes in it from when I was fitting my coaches with LED battery powered lighting, so I didn't drill into the mat. When I was drilling through some of them had metal weights in. So we'll mix that together, and already you can see it's kind of going translucent. It's just a bit of wood that I keep up the loft to use in all circumstances, really. It's coming useful, always useful to have a spare bit of stuff. So we'll mix that well, we'll try not to let it absorb into the wood. We've got a nice big blob there. So what I shall do is try my best to show you me painting it into the end here. So I'll go some up the tripod hole. There's a little hole in there. Can you see? A little hole in there that I'm just going to fill with resin because that's where that metal bit on the tripod will go. And then I'll paint a bit around the edges as well. And if any of the other legs pop out, I can always use the same method. So paint a bit around the outside. This is why it's useful to have a cocktail stick, because you can just throw it away. Obviously don't mix resin on anything valuable. So we've got that in there. So we've got 5 minutes, so we don't need to rush. We just don't need to get stuff everywhere. Get another blob on the end and just also apply that onto the metal bit. I may be adding too much here, but as long as it doesn't seep out of the joint, it doesn't really matter. So we'll paint some on there. And we'll also paint some round here. I presume this sort of pushed in and rotated into place one day, but obviously, as I showed earlier, it's all become chovelled up through the many years of use. I think I've had it nearly a year and a half, and I think my mate Will's dad, Kevin, has probably used it quite a lot as well, because it did come with some marks and scratches and stuff already on it. So I've actually managed not to get resin everywhere for once, which is brilliant. And if this works, it's obviously a method I would recommend. It's been easy enough so far. I wouldn't suggest using hot glue because it's not strong enough and it's too stringy and it goes everywhere. Obviously you can remelt it and get it off if you need to, but you shouldn't have to if you're doing a permanent repair. Wouldn't recommend super glue because it's, again, a little bit faffy. You don't get a right lot of it in a tube, and as you can see I've used quite a lot of resin here. And it's probably not that strong, to be fair, in a joint where there's a lot of forces involved. For gluing plastic together it's fine, but for other stuff, yeah, I'd use resin. Resin's strong, it cures relatively quickly, and it's kind of easy to work with as long as you've got... Ooh, that nearly went on my joggers. That would not have been fun. And it's okay as long as you don't get it everywhere and mix it on scrap materials and not get it on your joggers. Good job they're under the bench. So we'll now mate these two together. Of course, all the push fitting and linkage in there that would have originally held it there has already worn away. So we will slowly push it in. There's kind of a bit of a resistance because of the resin. May have put too much resin on there. You can see it seeping out. We'll push you in. And I may actually leave that band of resin there because that will help seal between the end of the rubber here that grips and the start of the fitting. So if I just push that in, I may leave that there because rather than wiping it off and getting resin everywhere, that does actually kind of look like an okay finish. So that's a happy accident. So we'll make sure that's all the way in there. I'll push it onto the table, get the other legs out of the way, and push. Oh, so that does seem to be in there. So it says, in fact I can not guess and read the packet. On the packet it says, although setting time is 4 to 5 minutes, no undue strain should be applied to the bond for 30 minutes. Full strength is obtained after 16 hours. So I will come back tomorrow and we will see if this tripod leg is fully cured. We'll give it a little bit of a test, see if it pulls out, and we'll see what it looks like in about 24 hours time. So I'm heading out of the loft now and I will see you tomorrow. So then, not quite 24 hours later, it's been about 22 and a half. Everything seems to have cured. This is completely solid, and it has actually dried clear, which is nice. I thought it would dry sort of that translucent white colour we saw, but no, that has dried. That is completely dry. The tripod is fine, and yes, oh, that peeled off quite easily, but that was stuck. So it's all dry. If that big blob's dry, then the bit on the tripod is going to be dry, and it seems to have done fairly well. It has blobbed slightly on the bottom, as you can see there, but that's just because the tripod was sort of sat like that. It's not blobbed too much, and it doesn't stop the legs from folding in all the way. And it does seem to have dried nicely, formed a nice ring, and of imperfections on the inside. If I give it a pull now, does it come out? No. Yeah, that is not moving, that's not coming out, and the leg bends fine, and the resin hasn't cracked while doing that. So that seems to have stuck, and that seems to work fine. As I say, if I need to resin any of the other legs if they fall out, I will do that. We'll now just wrap it around one of the loft joists where I normally have it, just to see if it's stuck fine, but to me that seems to have worked absolutely perfectly, and there is nothing wrong with that at all. So we'll see if it works on one of the joists now. Okay then, so here we go. We'll put the tripod roughly in its usual position where it'd be for a stream. Obviously I haven't got the camera to make it exact, but we'll wrap all the legs around as we usually would during a stream, and yeah, that's holding absolutely fine. Give it a wobble, give it a shake, it's not popping out, the resin isn't coming off, and yeah, that seems to be held on pretty securely. We'll just try it again the other way to make sure it wasn't a complete fluke. So bend the legs quite a bit just to be sure. Jam you round there, jam you round there, and jam you round there. And yep, that is holding absolutely fine. So, job's a good one. So then, that is the tripod all fixed. I've now been messing with it for a few minutes off camera, and that joint is still holding up perfectly fine, and the resin isn't peeling off or anything like that, and it's lovely and sturdy. So I hope this has been useful for you. Very, very quick and very, very simple way to fix the tripod legs if on your tripod it does ever break off. Just a little bit of resin, a little bit of time, and mainly just waiting for it to cure, and then you'll have effectively a brand new tripod, and the repair doesn't look too bad either. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been useful to you, and I hope to see you again very, very soon. Thank you very much for watching. Do take care, and bye for now.